Do you see this? These are Christmas decorations. How is it already time for Christmas? We're back at Islands of Adventure to tell you everything that's happening at the Universal Orlando Resort in the month of November. And when I say we, I actually mean I. Tyler had some stuff going on today and he couldn't make it, but don't worry, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know if you're headed to the parks this month. As you can tell by the decorations that are going up here in the port of entry, the holidays at Universal will be returning in November, starting on November 12th. There'll be all kinds of fun seasonal festivities happening in both parks, but over in Universal Studios, we'll have the holiday parade with the Macy's balloons. We always love watching that. And according to Universal's website, it should be running on every single night of the event, but I would assume that that's subject to change, so you always want to make sure to check the Universal app to see if it's happening and what time. You'll also find some seasonal food and drink items over in studios, and although I haven't seen an official announcement about this, I would assume that the HHN Tribute Store will get a holiday makeover with all kinds of seasonal merch. Fingers crossed that Earl's Sticky Buns make a comeback. Of course, the majority of the holiday festivities do take place here in Islands of Adventure, with Grinchmas taking over Seuss Landing. That takeover has already begun, but the biggest part of Grinchmas is the Hula Day Spectacular, which is a live retelling of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. You can also find Who's wandering the streets of Seuss Landing, and you can even hear live music performances. You can also purchase a holiday VIP experience this year. This starts at $79.99 per person, and it includes some things like an exclusive Grinch meet and greet, food and non-alcoholic beverages over at Circus McGurkus, and reserved seating at the Hula Day Spectacular. But just a reminder, this ticket doesn't include entrance into the parks, so you will also need a park ticket or an annual pass as well. You're probably sick and tired of hearing me talk about Grinchmas at this point, but don't worry, this is the last little thing I have to talk about, and that is the Grinch and Friends Character Breakfast. That's also going to be located over in Circus McGurkus. You can buy tickets for $41.99 for adults and $26.99 for children. That is just the starting price, but we'll put a link in the description to both the Grinch and Friends Character Breakfast and the Holiday VIP Tour in case you're interested in learning more about those. Last two little tidbits about Christmas. Mistletoe Pines will be returning to CityWalk this year, and they had it last year as like a little village that they set up with all kinds of seasonal food and merch that is absolutely worth checking out. And the Magic of Christmas at Hogwarts light show will be back on the castle right here. We don't know exactly when that'll be returning. I haven't seen a date or anything like that, but it is listed as part of the holiday VIP experience, so we do know that it will be back. Moving on to crowds. The projected crowd levels are all over the place this month. The first week and a half or 2 weeks, the crowds are expected to be moderate, so they're not gonna be crazy, but it's definitely not gonna be slow here either. And then the week before Thanksgiving, we'll see the crowds slow down a little bit before ramping back up to busy the week of Thanksgiving. Anytime you have a holiday where people are gonna be out of work and off school, you can expect that the parks are gonna be busier than normal. And then the very last week, or half week of November, as we get into the beginning of December, the crowds are expected to slow back down again. Y'all ready for park hours this month? It is an absolute doozy. It's a shame that Tyler's not here to witness this because he would absolutely hate it. But Universal Studios opens at 9 in the morning every single day in November. And then from the 1st through the 10th, Studios closes at 8 p.m. From the 11th through the 18th, it closes at 7, except for the 12th, where it closes at 6. Then, on the week of Thanksgiving, it bounces back and forth between closing at 8 or 9 at night, and then finally, the 27th through the 30th, it closes down at 7. Islands is similar, but different. It also opens up at 9 a.m. for the entire month, with early park admission starting at 8 a.m. From the 1st through the 3rd, Islands closes at 8 p.m. and then from the 4th through the 18th, it closes at 7. Except for Saturdays and Sundays during that time frame, it does close at 8 p.m. And then on Friday the 11th, it closes down at 6. Are you confused yet? Because don't worry, there's more. From the 19th through the 26th, Islands bounces back and forth between closing at 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. And then from the 27th through the 30th, it closes at 7. Except for the 29th, where it closes at 6. I'm really starting to understand why Tyler hates park hours so much. Volcano Bay did decide to simplify things a little bit since the two theme parks are all over the place with hours. The water park will be open from 10 to 5 every single day this month with early park admission starting at 9:30. Also, a little reminder that Volcano Bay does close down on particularly cold days. I tried to find a specific temperature, like when it will shut down. I know I've heard people say like 60 or 65. I couldn't verify anything online, but make sure you keep that in mind. And now moving on to ride closures. We do have two, well, 1.5 ride closures to talk about this month, and the first one is Ripsaw Falls right behind me. Ripsaw Falls is currently down for some unscheduled maintenance. As you can see, they have completely drained all of the water out of this attraction, and Universal hasn't announced a reopening date, so we're not sure how long it's going to be closed, but the next one is right over here. Oh, Mummy. I really didn't think that we would still be talking about the Mummy in terms of ride closures in November, but here we are. And this is the one that is the half, because as you can see behind me, there are people going into the ride right now, and that's because it is technically open on a technical rehearsal. So what that means is that the ride is going to be open sometimes, but it could close down at any point in time. Also, they don't have Express open right now, so even if you have those Express passes, they don't work on Revenge of the Mummy. But I did see a single riders line over there right now, so it looks like they are taking advantage of single riders. On November 18th and 19th, we have the very first Orlando Informer meetup of this winter season. Tyler and I will actually be at this meetup. Orlando Informer has invited us out to enjoy that. So if you're gonna be there that weekend, keep an eye out for us. If you're wondering what on earth an Orlando Informer meetup is, I'll put a link down in the description to our video from the June meetup. You can check that out after this video. Don't click off yet, I'm not done. And if you are wanting to purchase tickets, they do still have Friday night tickets available for Friday the 18th, although Saturday night tickets and the 2-night tickets for that weekend are completely sold out. So if you're wanting to go, make sure you get those tickets before Friday night sells out as well.
Hey guys, how many times did you see me throughout this video? You may have to go back and look really closely in some of the clips. I had a lot of fun to hide.
If you enjoyed this video, you can check out another video of ours right up here. But thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.